Hey guys, Josh Rachel back with Mentality Reboot. Appreciate those of you who tuned in to the last episode. If you haven't watched that episode yet, please go to the channel, watch that latest episode. Thought it was a really good one. Had some good interaction on some shorts. Tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in. So today we're going to be talking about a few different concepts. It's mostly going to be revolving the topic of who you are. And then we're going to talk a little bit about why you shouldn't necessarily be jealous of other people, knowing that nobody's coming to save you, and just doing the hard shit. So, to start this episode off, let's talk about it. Who are you? Who are you? This is a very hard question. And I think that it's difficult because it's constantly changing. Because you're always going to be growing, changing your values, changing what you believe in. Because you're living through life, you're gaining new experiences. And it causes this internal conflict where you sometimes feel that you know who you are, but you're also a stranger to yourself. The way that I was thinking about it last night was it's almost like I'm digging, and I'm digging in the correct direction. I get the sense of who I am. I know what I believe in generally. I know what I want to do and all these different things. But I'm just like kind of clawing. Like I'm sensing that I'm getting closer, but I'm not fully there. I don't have full understanding of who I am. But it's also like that I do know who I am, and that maybe the conflict is coming because I know that I can't do all of the things that I want to do. So, this brings me to the next point of who do you want to be? And I think this is where I was really starting to have issues and conflict when I was thinking about who I am, because I want to do all these different things. I find it very hard to focus my energy in one direction. Like, I can go very hard into the things that I'm committed to, 100%. But that doesn't mean that I'm not curious in all these different ways. I want to travel the world. That's genuinely one of my goals. And I have the opportunity to right now, but I also think that I might have that opportunity later on, and I feel like there are more pressing things to focus on right now. So like I have this drive to be a successful entrepreneur. I want to create, I want to build, I want to grow as a person. And as much as I want to explore the world and see the world and satiate that curiosity, I know that I need to make some sacrifices right now so that maybe I can one day be in the position where I can go do those things. Because as much as I want to do those things, and they are a part of me, they are kind of how I define who I am as a person. I define myself as a curious person. But as much as I want to explore these different areas of myself, I know that right now What matters is building. What matters is creating. I want to build successful businesses. I want to create this podcast to learn more about myself, to learn more about others, to learn from others and talk to others, to grow myself. I want to lay the foundation financially, socially, and personally for my future family as well. And to do that, I have to sacrifice that portion of myself right now who wants to go explore so that I can be the man that I need to be 10 years from now. And I know that that portion of me that's curious and wants to explore will still be there 10, 15 years from now. And hopefully, I will have better resources so that I can go without worry, so that I can fully experience the wonders of the world. And I'll have done it after growing a lot as a person, growing in my relationships, after building businesses, after creating things that I am proud of, things that I know that I need to create. So it's like narrowing down on that focus of what actually matters and understanding that just because you narrow your focus doesn't mean that those other aspects that you have to sacrifice are no longer a part of who you are. They just have to take the sideline for a minute. Because to be the person that you want to be and that you need to be right now and maybe 10 years from now, you got to do these things. You have to make some sacrifices. Life is about sacrifices. That's why sacrifice is such an important part of religion. To get somewhere, you have to make sacrifices. So, identify who you want to be. Identify all the things that you think make you who you are. And identify the direction that you need to go in to pursue all these different things. But know that you're going to have to narrow that scope. You're going to have to make some sacrifices for the long-term betterment of yourself. And hey, if you're the type of person that like the core of you is exploration, you need to go see the world right now, that's who you are, then hey, go do that. Do it while you're young, do it when you're 30, do it when you're 40, who knows? I don't think that it's impossible to do it with a family. Just know that no matter when you do that, you're going to have to make sacrifices. So do it knowing that there's going to be sacrifices. You're going to sacrifice parts of your career. You're going to sacrifice your relationships back home. And obviously, I'm not just talking about traveling the world. Just know that the things that you focus on, that you give your energy to, it's going to come at the sacrifice of other areas of your life, at other areas of who you are. So please know that it's normal to feel this conflict in not knowing exactly who you are, or maybe having this really broad sense of who you are, but being in kind of at war with yourself because you're sacrificing these other portions of yourself. So know that that's normal. Know that you're constantly going to be changing and redefining who you are, and that's perfectly okay. But you need to stick on a path. To really get somewhere, you have to really dive in there. You have to keep going. You can't just be in there for a couple months and then suddenly call it quits. Because then you're going to be getting nowhere really fast when you're constantly changing from focus to focus to focus. You need to really dive in and allow yourself to tunnel down that way, to walk forward, to keep walking forward. And then, once you've built this path for yourself, then you can start branching into the other areas. And hopefully by then you'll have more resources, whether financially, materially, personally, socially, whatever it is, you'll have more resources to tap into these other areas of your life. So moving on to the next topic that I mentioned, it's to be careful of who you're jealous of. Because if you're jealous of the benefits of their success, but not the things that it took to acquire said success, then you're not really jealous of them. You're creating this like false perception of this person that their life is all benefit, all rewards, that they're not needing to work, that not needing to make sacrifices to endure pain and hardship. You're just, seeing the shiny and flashy exterior of their life and thinking that that's who they are. So be careful of that, because you don't really know who they are. You don't know what they had to go through to get there. You don't know the sacrifices. You don't know how they were raised. I think Jordan Peterson has a really good bit on this. You see the exterior of their lives, but you don't know all that makes them who they are. And this reminds me of another conversation, I think it was between Alex Hormozy and Chris Williamson on Modern Wisdom, where Alex Hormozy said that people think that they want something. They see the benefits of the success and they think, oh, I want that. I want to have this. That Ferrari, I want that Ferrari. I want this awesome mansion. I want that boat. I want all these different things. I want the status. But they don't actually want that because they could have it. They could do the things that it takes to get that success. But they don't. So therefore, they do not actually want it. And so all they're doing is hurting themselves. They're creating unnecessary, pressure and stress and desire for something that they will never achieve because they do not truly want it. And for those of you who aren't fully understanding, they're saying, oh, well, I clearly want that Ferrari, I just don't have it. No, what I'm saying is you could have that Ferrari in 10 years, but you need to go through the stuff that it takes to get there. And if you don't ever get that Ferrari, then you didn't really want it because you shied away from, at some point, you would have had to shied away from the pain and suffering that it takes to get there. So the point is, you see these glamorous lifestyles, these glamorous items that are expensive, that are nice, they're flashy, they signal status, they make you seem bigger than other people. And you see that and you want that. But most people don't actually want to do the work. And it's fair. And Alex Hormozy went on to make another point, and it's like, hey, maybe you don't need to want to do that work. Like, that's fine. Because you can sit back and realize, man, I have a great life. I have a loving family. I get to play golf on the weekends. I get to, spend my time working out. I enjoy watching movies. Like, maybe that's who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is the hurt that comes from seeing these very, very hard to attain items or lifestyles and just wanting it and wanting and wanting and wanting without wanting what it takes to get there. So if you don't want what it takes to get there, then you don't actually want that item. You don't actually want that lifestyle. So really, like, ask yourself, is that what you want? Do you really want that mansion? Do you really want this status? Like, when you look at someone like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, whoever, these people with massive amounts of status, massive amounts of wealth, man, do you really want to do what it takes to get there? And not only that, not only what it takes to get there, but what it takes to continue living that life. Because, yeah, you see that, hey, Elon Musk has whatever billions amount of assets to his name. Yeah, but that man works every single day, nonstop, runs multiple companies, undoubtedly has enormous amounts of stress and pressure on his shoulders, on his mind. Has to sacrifice family, has to sacrifice bodily health, mental health as well, I'm sure. Is that what you want? He doesn't really seem to be enjoying the benefits of said wealth. When you look at, I've never seen him driving a Ferrari. Obviously, he drives his Teslas. But if he were to drive a Bugatti or a very expensive car or be on a yacht, when you compare that item to his overall lifestyle, it is not proportionate. The amount of pain and suffering that he has to go through is not equivalent at all to a Bugatti, to a yacht, because he's undertaking so much. So really, just question it. Question, when you get jealous of something, think about whether or not you actually want it. Because I don't think that everyone really wants it. And it's okay to not want it. There's no harm in dialing it back and thinking, I really just want to live my life this way. I want to grow as a person. I want to maximize my social relationship, my relationships in general. I want to be economically or financially comfortable. I want to be skilled and all these different things that are good, but I don't need to have the biggest company in the world. I don't even need to have a $100 million company. I think I'd be fine with this. Or I'd be fine with just having a job that I love, that's close to home, so that I can not have to drive an hour a day and get frustrated that I'm losing time. Like, weigh out what you actually want in life. And that goes along with who you want to be. To tie it back into earlier, when you see these people that you're jealous of, and you think like, oh man, that's who I want to be. I want to be that guy. Okay, so now analyze, hey, do you really want to do what it takes to get there? Because if you want to be that guy, that's what you have to do. And is that who you really want to be? And if it's not, readjust and keep finding out more and more, clawing deeper and deeper to find out who you are. To find out what you actually are jealous of, what you actually would sacrifice to attain the things that you want. So, another thing about jealousy is even outside of being careful of who you're jealous of in the sense that, hey, you don't know what it's actually taking to get that. Be careful of these social media influencers that you're so jealous of. Be careful of that guy or girl that is telling you, if you're not doing this, then you're not doing it correctly. Well, what is this 26-year-old, 22-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old know to be giving absolutes? Nothing's an absolute. Like, there's no secret to life. Don't look at these social media influencers that are, or podcasters that are saying you absolutely need to be doing this and you need to be doing it in this specific way. And if you're not doing this, then everything that you're doing is worthless. I just had a conversation with my girlfriend about this the other day because she was talking about this podcast where this woman went on and said, if you're not getting this many hours of sleep or you're not getting good sleep, then everything else that you're doing is worthless and I have nothing to tell you. So you're telling me that it'd be better to get shitty sleep and not work out and eat like shit and be lazy and procrastinate and be on social media all day? What do you mean? Well, how are you going to be ruling in absolutes like that? So be careful of who you're consuming. Take it with a grain of salt. These people that come on here and act like they know everything, they're trying to sell themselves as this authority figure that, hey, listen to me, I know the way. Take advice from people, listen to their story, listen to the problems that they've overcome. That's all great. Do that. But when someone starts telling you the way things should be, the reason why you're doing everything wrong and that you're not doing anything right, and really just making you feel like you're not never doing enough, really question that. Because these people are liars. They are fake. They are selling themselves, they are trying to make content, and they're not authentic. And, I question the authority of these people anyways. Even outside of them saying stuff purely to act like they have authority or to make themselves come off as an authority figure and gain a following. I just question them as authority figures in general sometimes. I think that the people that come out and are trying to give tidbits that are helpful, great. But let's not make it seem like if you're not doing one specific thing that you're worthless and you're never doing enough. And and another thing that I see specifically, I think this is more on the female side of the internet, are these 20-year-old girls that supposedly have their entire life nailed down. And there's apparently a lot of them, a lot of 22-year-old girls that are apparently waking up at 5 a.m., immediately going to the gym for 3 hours, cooking all their food from scratch, getting 2 hours of sunlight, yada, 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 and reading, journaling, meditating every single day. It's just not real. And, are there people out there that are like that? Yes. There are 100% people on the internet that do these things. But I also know that most of them are making it up. The same way that all these fitness influencers claim that they're all natural, claim that they don't Photoshop, spread lies. People are willing to do anything to build a brand, to sell this perception of themselves. Like, hey, let me go take a quick video at this time, then let me reuse this footage every single day to make it look like I'm doing this. Or let me just lie about the time that I'm doing this. Let me lie about everything that I'm doing. Like, let me just make a quick video acting like I'm doing 20 different things. The problem is, listen, to the people that do all those things, that's great. But a lot of people don't have the time to do that stuff, to do every single thing like that. You can absolutely do a lot of good for yourself, no matter what you have going on in life. But this jealousy that they're creating of, you don't have my life, and making people feel insecure that they're not doing enough. Like, be careful of these social media predators that are selling you a fake dream that they're not even living themselves. It's unfortunate, but the internet is just riddled with inauthentic people. Stay alert. Try not to be too jealous of anyone that you see online. I say don't be jealous in general, but jealousy can be a good fuel sometimes if it's actually the direction that you want to go. But the people that are acting like they have everything figured out, they don't have everything figured out. So don't be jealous of them. They're faking. Nobody has it all figured out. Talk to anyone that's old. They didn't have shit figured out. Like, be careful, please. And, the next topic that I want to talk about is that you need to know that nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's coming to help you, to mentor you, to show you the way. Nobody can come figure out your life for you. Nobody even has their life figured out fully. So how are they going to come and show you the way? These are things that you have to do yourself. You have to save yourself. It's a harsh truth. And I realized it. So I realized it because I've been through the ringer. I've been through enough stuff. I've been a high-level athlete that was very disciplined, that was successful achieving his goals. I've been the mediocre to slightly above average athlete that wasn't fully giving it his all, but was doing good enough, but, wasn't fully putting his best foot forward. And after that, after I was those two guys, I had also been the woe is me. The nothing is working out. The universe is playing tricks on me. And even me, who had taken life into my own hands and had proved, hey, you can directly affect your life by working hard, by actually going after your goals. Even I couldn't see that when I was really down in the dumps. It's so easy to give into this idea of everything is terrible, nothing is working out for me, and my life is going bad because of this, and because of that, and because of him, and because of her. And it's just this shifting of the blame. And this desire to just quit because it's hard, because things aren't working out. And when you're in that mode where you feel like you have no control of your life, you for some reason think that just quitting is the best option. I don't even know how to fully explain it. But when you're really down in the dumps, when it feels like nothing is working out and you're trying but you think that you're trying. That's the problem. You think that you're trying, but you're not really. So you convince yourself that, man, this would just be better if I quit, if I stopped. And somehow life is going to work out for me. Somehow life is going to is going to once again make life better for me if I just quit, if I just give in and accept that life sucks, that things aren't working out for me. If I just give into that, eventually life will work out for me. No. If you're in this mode, if you're living like this right now, no, that is not how it works. You directly impact your life. You directly affect everything. There is nothing good on the other side of quitting. Nothing good comes from giving in to the problems in your life. You need to solve them yourself. You need to work hard and overcome them. And it's hard. It's really fucking hard. So sometimes you just have to fucking admit that it's hard and then do it anyways. Because you're going to suffer regardless. You giving in, you quitting, isn't going to make your life better. Oh, you're going to quit one stressful thing, so you have a little bit less stress, but your life is still shitty and you're still depressed, and now you have less control of your life? Like, giving up control and accepting this mentality that, man, life sucks, and not ever accepting responsibility for it never works out. It's just genuinely not real. But as someone who's been on kind of all areas of the spectrum, I can see how people fall into that, because if you've never worked hard and achieved your goals and dreams, you have no reference to go, hey man, I can be more than this. I can fix this. So you just say, all right, you let life blow you around like a leaf, like a feather in the wind. So I'm telling you, please realize, like, nobody's coming to save you. God isn't coming to help you. Life, the universe, isn't just gonna suddenly start going your way. Unless you start taking action, unless you start making the changes yourself. Where are these changes gonna come from if they're not coming from you? And the answer is, they're not gonna come. Once you give into that mindset of you're just gonna let things happen, you're gonna stop trying to proactively play a role in your life and take charge, congratulations. Life is happening to you now, not for you. You're letting life happen to you. You're letting the will of other people take control of you. You're letting the will of circumstance take control of you. You're letting your boss, your friends, your parents, your girlfriend, whoever it is, take control of you. They're controlling your life now. You're just an actor in your own life. Not the hero. Not doing anything courageous. You're just playing your role. And you have no say in it. But it doesn't need to be that way. You can pick up the reins and steer your life back on track. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be a really fucking bumpy road. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. Things are going to get worse sometimes. And that's okay. It comes with the territory. But if you want to own your life, if you want to be the person that you want to be, not be the person that you let circumstance choose for you, then it's going to be hard. But it's worth it. Because now you're living for yourself. now you directly impact your life. And the the problem with the people that think that they're giving in to life and that they're just accepting that their life is shitty and that they don't play a role in it, the problem is that they are wrong and that they are actually actively playing into their own demise, into their own suffering. By pretending that they have no control and just accepting their miserable existence and hoping for the best, they are the source of all their problems. And no matter how much they try to shift it onto someone else, at the end of the day, it's them. So don't be that person. You know, take it from other people that, hey man, this life is hard, but you can do it. You can affect it. You can achieve your goals. You just need to do the work that it takes to get there. And you can. You really can. You're tougher than you think. You're a lot tougher than you think. If there's some things that you need to cut out to make it a little less overwhelming, do that. But don't just quit. Don't just give up. You can do it. Seriously. The things that you want, you can get. The situation that you're in that you hate, you can get yourself out of it. The relationship, the girlfriend, the husband, whatever it is that you want, you can get that. But you need to become the person that can get those things, that can get out of those situations, that can get that girlfriend, that can get that husband. What does it take to get there? What does that look like? Who would you have to be to get there? So, question, hey man, who are you? Who do you want to be? Who are the people that you're actually jealous of and that you would sacrifice parts of your life and you would do the hardship to achieve the things that you're jealous of? What are those things? Who is that person? And who do you have to be to save yourself from a life that you don't want to live? I can't answer that question for you. No, nobody can. The only person that can answer these questions for you is yourself. So go on and save yourself. Start finding out who you are and who you want to be and what it takes. Because you can have it. You can really have it. But you need to do it. So get started.